Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pine Time Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Pine. I'm a marathon runner and musician. And today, what I want to talk about actually, this is this is a really fun topic, so I'm excited. But with my band, I want to tell the story to everybody as to how I picked the name, which it's actually kind of an accident. It's a funny story. So I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about the experience that I learned from the name that I picked for my band. Now, I've been playing music, more specifically, guitar is my main instrument. I've been playing for about 15-ish years. I've been playing since I was a teenager, so I'm on the older side now. I'm, getting close to 30, but in either case, I love music, rock and roll, pop punk, all that, like early 90s, mid like 2000s, kind of music, just to kind of get the vibe. So I love that kind of style of music. And when I was growing up, I always wanted to play on a stage, whether that was in front of 100,000 people, 100 people, uh, one person. I was really just looking for kind of an outlet for a lot of the stuff that I was, going through as a, kind of a bratty teenager, for lack of a better way to put it. But so I found music. I, started learning a lot of songs from that particular genre of, pop punk, or pop punk, excuse me, of like, a Green Day, Blink-182, Sum 41, or the Sums. If you know, you know. But in either cases, I learned a lot of the songs from that particular genre. It took me from scratch. Took me about 2 years to actually learn how to like play the electric guitar and some bass, which I don't play the bass guitar that much anymore, but I learned all of the basics really in 2 years. And by the time I became a senior in high school, I was like, all right, I want to book a show for, put a band together, basically, is kind of what I had as my goal for that particular school year. And I was nervous about it, but I mean, I was also kind of excited too. This is something I'd never done before, and a goal I've been working towards for quite a long time. So, what I did, and this is where it becomes funny with the name, is there's a like a local venue. I don't think they're around anymore, unfortunately, but like a local venue near where I live and where I went to school. And I sent them an email because I really wanted to play a show. I thought, I could get like a crowd of 100 people, something along those lines. But the email subject line I put as Jason Pine Band question mark. And what's funny about that is, because I'd never played in a band but before. I mean, I played like, a couple like open mics and stuff, but like actually like getting like a set list together, finding like other people to play with, it was all kind of new to me, up until that point. So I originally worded it that way with the intention of it just being like kind of like a solo, artist kind of thing. But when they put me on the, eventually put me on the playbill, it said the Jason Pine Band, and I was looking back, it was a really smart, smart decision, because it's very seamless, very self-explanatory, but it's also it's also a great story, quite honestly. It was very interesting, kind of going through that process, and honestly, it was I wouldn't say it was an accident, but I mean it kind of was. And I rolled with it ever since. And the reason I wanted to pick this topic is not to gloat about my name or my band or anything, but you feel free to check us out if you would be interested or potentially interested. Um, but what I really learned from that is how to be myself unconditionally, and just kind of go with things. Um, it was really kind of well, it was a fun experience too. Um, but when I was growing up and even, a little bit later in life, I kind of lost that confidence and kind of, I guess, go with the flow is the best way to say it. Very laid back mentality. If something works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I always like to think back on this particular moment of something that, in the grand scheme of things, was pretty minuscule. Uh, but just the confidence I had to not not really be attached to one particular outcome, but just kind of go for it is something I'm really proud of. Now what was really cool after I got everything together and I was like, it's a little bit odd. It was an accident the way the name popped up, but it is what it is. I ended up actually selling out the whole show. I got merchandise made. I just went around school selling the t-shirts that we made and the tickets and everything. And the actual show itself was a lot of fun. So if there's one thing I'd like you all, if you guys have made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you very much for listening to my rambling and the first episode of the Pine Time podcast. But what I want you guys to take away from this, if nothing else, is just to unapologetically be yourself. Um, don't get attached to one outcome specifically, and just have fun. Life is life is short. You only get one shot at this, so just be yourself. Don't ask for permission. Just try different things and see what happens. So, with all of that being said, thank you for listening to the first episode of the Pine Time podcast. I'm excited. We're going to make this into a little series. We're going to talk about music, how to record music, how to learn songs. What I mentioned, I'm a marathon runner at the beginning, so I'm going to talk about my experience as a marathon runner, some of the new ones that I'm doing. A couple, I think in a few months, but I'm really excited for a few extra marathons that I've got planned. So talk about my experience with that, also how to train properly for a marathon. I'll do a couple episodes on that. I'll have some of my musician friends here on the Pine Time podcast as well. So it's fun, and looking forward to making more of these. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and yeah, I'll see you guys all on the next one. Thanks so much. Bye, everybody.